Thank you for visiting Leezah's Lair, and this video is just going to be an overview of the topics that are on this channel because this is primarily a topical channel. I do occasionally have some events videos, but this channel has been around for 5 years. I haven't posted consistently for 5 years, but it has been around for 5 years, so I wanted to just review some of the topics. Unspoken Rules in Second Life was a challenge that I think Strawberry Sing created, and everybody participated. So you really should look for that particular challenge under that title and really get a good idea of all of the unspoken rules that are out there in Second Life, because I think that that was a really good series or challenge rather, for people who are already established in Second Life, and especially people who just enter Second Life. I had a conversation last year about what's love to you, and let's see what else. I have a conversation on the research on 60-year-olds in Second Life, and that research was done by the University of Arkansas, and I linked to that video, and I did a response video about that research because I thought it was very interesting. That was 4 years ago, but check out that video that I linked to, and then watch the response video and put any of your comments in. Another topic that I had on this channel was things we just don't get about Second Life, and I went into all of the things that I'm still confused about, and I'd like to hear some of the things you're still confused about. I had a video on how to cultivate community. That's the video at the bottom. But my avatar back then, it was 5 years ago, my avatar, the animation was so crazy. It was just really jerky. It was hard to film it, but that's how it was, back then. Another topic was about my event, the Book of Questions, where I explain about the actual book called Book of Questions that is used for that event. And another video I had was the questions you are asked most often. I was curious to find out from all of you, what are the questions that people keep asking you over and over again in world. Another topic that is interesting is the top 10 cultures in SL, and there are more than those top 10 for sure, but I just named 10. But put your input in the comment section there about these different cultures that are in Second Life, because this year, that video was 4 years ago, but this year I want to interview people that are part of each of those cultures, because I think it's going to be interesting for those of us who have been in Second Life for years. I think it is also going to be very interesting for people who are entering Second Life. I did a response video about the over-sexualization of women in Second Life, and that is something I noticed right away when I came into Second Life. It was very hard to find clothing that didn't show your butt, your boobs. That was just really provocative. It was hard to find AOs 8 years ago, in my opinion at least, that didn't bend over and have all these crazy gestures that I never actually see women doing in my real life. But anyway, that was a response video, and I linked to the video that I was responding to. The second video I ever put on this channel was 21 things the older adults can do in Second Life. Take a look at that video. It's 5 years old. I know my avatar has on flexi hair and looks crazy, and the video quality has changed dramatically on YouTube, by the way, and you'll notice that with some of these older videos. YouTube has come a long way in terms of just the clarity of videos now. But anyway, I mentioned 21 things older adults can do in Second Life. Click on that video from 5 years ago and add some more things that you think people who are older may enjoy doing. My video on what are the top 8 virtual world games, that came from an article in a publication called LifeWire, and I linked to the article and I presented their top 8. Another topic I had on this channel was from the article The Digital Ruins of a Forgotten Future, and I linked to that article in the video and I discuss it. In the video To Cheat or Not to Cheat, I do talk about the whole dynamic that exists sometimes in Second Life, where people have a marriage or a partner in Second Life, but then they also have a real spouse or a real live-in partner. There is still a lot of social activism going on in Second Life, even though there's a lot of groups out there that were started and that are now inactive or don't meet regularly. I did a video recently on Relay for Life, so check that video out. I also have a video about what is your favorite SL video? What types of videos do you like to watch? What do you feel, interests you most? I wanted to get a good idea of people who visit my channel, who I assume are some of the older adults who are in world. What do they want to watch? Because I want my channel to appeal to, a lot of the things that are interesting to the demographic that this channel is targeting. I had a video about how to avoid drama in Second Life, just my own tips, because I found a lot of people. I've been in Second Life, as you know, if you've been to this channel before, for 8 years, and I find a lot of people have left their old avatar. They came back, started a whole new account, and started all over again, only because a lot of stuff happened for them in their other avatar. So anyway, that video was 4 years ago, but I still think those tips are relevant, and I hope that you'll take a look at that video and add some more advice to people that I may not have mentioned at all. I had a video on the events calendar because I was using that a lot to announce my events. However, this year, Linden Labs decided to charge everyone $50 each time they post an event on the event calendar, which I think is just ridiculous. It's a money grab. I can see if they were charging 50 Lindens to all commercial enterprises, all stores, all clubs, all all places that are making money, if they're charging them to post about their own event. I get it. But for people that aren't even charging anything at all for their events, and it's not even a commercial enterprise on the grid, they're still going to charge for just letting residents know about it. I just thought that is not a good policy, but that's my own opinion about the new policy about that. But I did do a video 5 years ago about the events calendar and how to find out what's going on the grid. I also did a response video on the documentary. It was called When Strangers Click, and at that time, that was 4 years ago when that video was made, at that time the documentary was on Hulu, but it was free to watch, and so I linked to it in this video. I still don't know if that Hulu link is still there or if it's still free to watch, but at the time that I filmed that video, I was talking about that documentary because it was interesting, and it was, about virtual spaces. One topic that I did was on your username choice, because when people join Second Life, I talked to a lot of people who said that they debated about the name that they were choosing and they weren't quite sure, because at that point they were brand new, and a lot of times you've already chosen your name, you get into Second Life, and then you see all these other names, these other usernames and things that other people are representing with their names. But anyway, I did a video about that because I thought it was just interesting, just for an interesting conversation to have in terms of why you chose the name that you chose as your resident name in Second Life. Some people use the same name that they have, away from Second Life. Some people don't. They have these long names. Some of them are pretty funny. But anyway, that was one video that I hope you'll still watch, even though it was 2 years when I did that one. I had another video last year about the Book of Questions event, but I also did a video on the struggle is real for male avatars, and I talked about the fact that most of the retail business is catering to female avatars and what female avatars look like. And I think I mentioned in that video, that I think for male avatars, it's difficult for them to find things, and they're really, even if you go to these monthly retail events, there's lots and lots of gifts for female avatars and maybe one or two for the male avatars. So I had a conversation about that. One video I did 2 years ago was what has surprised you the most in Second Life. So put some comments there and let me know about what are the biggest surprises that you found since you've been in the virtual space. And the other video was the worst avatar fashion violations because I mentioned a list of all the violations that I've committed with fashion. Um, because putting an avatar together and styling my avatar with an outfit is probably the least favorite thing that I can think of to do in Second Life. At least that's for me. I love to run around and grab the gifts at all of the events, but styling an avatar is not my favorite. I also did a video on the find feature in your SL profile, and a lot of times people will say, well, how did you know I was interested in this, or how do you know I was interested in that? And there is actually a find feature where you can find other residents on the grid who have similar interests that you have if they have put it in their profile and you have put it in yours. There's a feature that matches that. And I thought a lot of people didn't know about it, so 4 years ago I talked about that feature. That's it for this video. I hope I've brought to your attention some of the interesting topics that exist on this channel that you can comment on. Please come back, watch more videos, and put your input in some of those topics that I've mentioned if they're of interest to you. Thank you for visiting Leezah's Lair.